it's here. The long wait's over. My 1/16" NG is here, and my 60" Yak. I was a bit of a sucker for this when I saw it came out. Just wanted one straight away. So, as is the spirit of the channel, let's just get straight into it. I've already taken the liberty of cutting up this top box. If you notice some damage on this outer box, don't stress, it's purely there as an extra layer of protection. I'm probably going to do some fast forwarding. So, just had to readjust that. Got a terrible feeling that I did a absolutely awful job with the framing on that one, but still one take job. We're at a good spot here. Starting to actually see some fancy stuff. So let's get into it. I feel like some cut off my head now. I don't know how I'm filming this, so yeah, probably should be sitting down for this, but I think that people are more interested in seeing the model aircraft parts than they am me. That's a really nice stuff. Covering's really good. Very pleased with what I see there. It's not a wrinkle inside, it's really tidy. Hope it only keeps going in this direction. This is really clean. So stabs here, nicely hinged, covered completely over the hinges, very nicely wrapped around. It's got nice yak corners style. Your horns slot's already cut out, so that's neat. A little bit of silver up against the yellow. Colours are looking really good. I'm really pleased. Typical Skywing, stab slots in. Pretty idiot proof even for me. It'd be really hard to manage to get this misaligned. No more the old tape measure, you know, trying to get the stab aligned. So that's good. Pretty excited about this. I really love a Yak cow. It's really neat. Got the cooling vent in here for your speed controller. Inside it you've got the foam ducts to get the airflow right around the motor. A bit of an outlet there. I think that's trying to direct that air past the speed controller. That makes a lot of sense. Two screws, one screw either side. Would have liked to have seen, you know, hidden mounting, but it's only two screws, so it's kind of the slot style. So this would go on the fuselage like that, and then the screws will go in. That's looking really nice. Fuse is really nice and solid how it's mounted in here. These end parts are locked in position. You can't move in transit, which is nice. Looking at how to get it out, just cut that tape at the back. A bit of cut with Joe's. And you've got your fuse up. If I look like a kid unwrapping my Christmas presents, that's because I am a kid unwrapping my Christmas presents. This is looking really stunning. Really struggling to find anything negative here. A nice little lazy man detail. Screws are already in position for you. It's got a beautiful ESC mounting bracket there. Motor mount screws are sitting in there already. Now let's nicely in frame there. Pop the canopy over and have a see. So it's pretty typical of all the modern Skywings in here. There's not a lot going on. It's very light. It's very, very light. We've got the usual slot mechanism and the safety pin, so you can't. Once you put the wing in, you have to lock it in, which is really smart. Jingwei's been really excited about these new plugs, which is really cool. Notice that the polarity is marked different on either side. I wonder if one of these is assembled backwards or if the markings are backwards, but that'll be easy to rectify if it's incorrect. On this side I've got the negative to the back, and on this side I've got... No, it's marked correct. I'm just imagining it. But these are the wing slot style ones. That's really tidy. It's a nice little bit of reinforcing around the pins, where the pins go in to locate the wing. And the extension leads are already sitting in the fuse ready to go. That's quite fancy. We also have the back. We have servo orientation, bit of help doing that. We've got these little marking tabs, and they've sort of rounded this part of the servo mount in anticipation of the exposed motor servos that are becoming really common in this size. Should be able to see there the locking sort of system for the horizontal stab, so that should go in once and go in right. So again, that's really neat. Probably not going in as far as I expected it to. I'll have to check if that's going to cause an issue with the elevator. It's I think there may actually be a bit of trimming or a bit of sanding involved there, because that's not quite going in all the way. It's as if it's coming in contact with that flat plate in the middle of the stab before it can reach the end. So I might just message Jim because there's a bit of playing incidents. That'll need a little adjustment. Not the end of the world, but still, it's a detail that's worth pointing out. Really nice to, do a bit of a play and sit some parts together and see how it looks. Some CA hinges for the rudder. I'll see if I can do this. If I can't do this quickly, I'll give up, because I don't want to muck around too long in this video. So it is going pretty good. I'm not going to do that right now because that's going to be a little bit fiddly, and I don't really think for the scope of this video that's worthwhile. So something to note there, that there was not quite a fit there that I'd like. But again, I think it's just a matter of sanding this down, or sanding a bit off in there. I'm just going to have a look closer after this and figure out why that isn't quite fitting right. wings, kind of an exciting part. Sort of need these to be able to fly. I really should have put this box up higher. Yeah, there's nice end fences. That's cool. Quick release. I like the side end fences on this size of the model. So with these, we've got just 2 screws in there. Some keyhole entrances there, so be able to slide them on and off nice and quick. Wing looks good. Can't fault the covering job here. It's really tidy. There's really not much more to mention there. That's just really neatly done. That's just the mounting screw for the quick release, and I like the instant plug-in servo, aileron plugs. That's just a really neat feature and of this plane. I mean, we're all lazy modelers, I guess, but you know, this is a plane that, you know, 1 minute to put it together at the field, 3 minutes to do a range check and a pre-flight check, and you're on your way, which could be really handy to a lot of people. Sometimes those quick flights, you know, go and visiting the field on the way home. You know, every little bit of time helps. We're getting busier and busier as a society. So I'm noticing here what they've done is there's quite a short extension lead in there. So the idea is clearly that we will unscrew this, pull it out, plug it in to our servo, then put the plug doodad, screw it back in there, and off you go. So we'll just very briefly have a look at the second one, just as a quality control measure, but I don't really think there's much to look at here. It's the same but the other way. Let's just check. That's a left-hand wing, and that's a right-hand wing. That's always a good check, so happy to see that. A little bit of a note, sort of would mention this to Jimway. As a sign writer, you try and actually avoid doing really pointy graphics. So what you can do is just nip off the end of these points, and what that does is it makes them much more durable. If you leave the film as with vinyl to a really sharp point, it really easily gets damaged. So something I'm going to do over a cold bourbon or a beer is just trim the ends off these. You'd barely notice the difference, but it'll just mean they'll last a lot better. So that concludes the majority of the unboxing. The landing gear here, we know what carbon landing gear looks like. It's a nice curved Yak landing gear. There's not much more to think about there. I will go through the hardware box on the bench because it'll be a lot easier to show in detail what's in there. So this includes